I did the cover on MS Paint, and then I did post-production where I took it in Paint Shop Pro and I used some filter. I forget what I named. It's on one of my videos. Some filter, median filter, to kind of take out the pixelation or whatever. Alright, let's look at page 1. Alright, I gave my wife top billing because I thought it would be funny, especially because she only did page 18 and she gets top billing and I did all the rest. So anyway, there's some text down there I wrote just for fun. Anyway, basically page 1, I come in there, she says some stuff because she's talking on the phone, and so start out with an establishing shot, then you zoom in on her screaming, and you cut back to me back there, and then there's a 2-shot of us, kind of like that, but then I don't draw the backgrounds because you can be lazy. I think there's a comic book artist that said if you do one good establishing shot, you can slough off on the backgrounds to the rest of the shots. So you need one good space shot with the background. And there's a couple mistakes in here, like the phone. I forgot to color it black in that one, and then like above her head isn't colored, and there's mistakes all over like that. So here's my little sequence of what happened on my day. Nice little establishing shot yet again, establishing the space plus the background. That way I can slough off on the background when I go to a side shot. And I just threw in a fence there because it's easy, you know, chain link fence. I didn't even do like all the individual links, I just did the crosses or whatever. Anyway, I kicked them. I did like a whole big sketch, like I sketched a bunch of different ways I could beat up little kids with my scooter. And then I picked out my 2 best ones, which was this one, me whipping the scooter up and kicking them, and then me choking a kid. And then of course I don't want to advocate actually choking little kids that make fun of people, and so she's like, so you beat up a couple of 5th graders? And I'm like, no, but I wanted to, see? Anyway, more mistakes. I colored that shirt, didn't color it up there though, so, and his pants are black, not even close to even being colored there, so. Not much to talk about here. Easy backgrounds, those are simple. So then I cut over here, of course there's not a background, and then I throw in the little jigglies to make it more intense, show anger or whatever. Alright, so this page we're still talking, so I had to throw in a backdrop. Once again, I established it up here. Easy, you just put some curtains, throw in some grids for the windows, and then throw in a little bit of a plant. There's no, I don't even, there might be bushes outside, but we don't even, can't even notice. Anyway, so then you zoom into me. It'd be boring if it was just curtains throughout the whole thing, and so I took it over here, and so you got a little bit more contrast between the window and me. I don't know. I don't even think that much when I draw. I'm just trying to reflect on what I probably did. It's been a while, probably like a year since I did this. So once again, you establish it, come in with a zoom in shot, and you pull back to like a nice 2-shot, and you don't have to really mess with the background because you already established it up here. Alright, Jiu-Jitsu, once again, since we're talking here, I put another shot of her holding up the book, and then of course it cuts into her closer, but then I threw in my headshot. So it's kind of, if you notice in comics, there's a lot of like a big head in the foreground but then a medium shot in the background. I think that's kind of cool. I want to add more of that stuff. Anyway, so I did, this is probably the first breaking of the panel that I've done. And the hand looked really bad, and so I ended up having to redraw like a hand. I took some tracing paper and I think I took some tracing paper, or I just drew like another fist or whatever. And then I scanned that in, cut that out, deleted that, pasted it right on top of it because that hand looked really messed up. See any mistakes? Probably. So let's move on. God, 5 minutes already? Alright, this is the one I'm most proud of, because all these cool different shots that I put in. This is probably like the most professional page I've had. Basically, I want to check my email. It's just like, no, you got to do your list, and so like here's a list of all the things I had to do, which is pretty simple. Like I didn't specifically pick 6 when I set up this page. I was like, okay, this is a nice establishing shot. As you can notice, most of my establishing shots are placed up here, and so then I knew the end punchline would be right here, and I wanted a little bit more space. I don't want it to just be that, and then a punchline. I wanted a little more space there, and so I was like, okay, I established this space here, that space here. So now I have to have some various things for me to do. And so I just did the panels first, and then I was like, okay, I should probably wash some dishes, dust, and do that stuff. And then what's kind of cool, what I did was, like looking back, is I didn't just have it be long shots of me. Like I had a close-up of me doing the dishes, because you don't need a long shot of me doing that. You're not really going to know what I'm doing if I was doing the dishes right there. Sweeping though, you probably need a full shot. Like vacuuming, I just had a hand in the foreground. I didn't even show like myself there. So once again, like a close-up thing in the foreground, and then you got your medium shot or long shot in the background. And that was a pretty neat page for me to complete. I was happy I got that done. Anyway, once again, I didn't do the borders on this top thing, because I like to add some space so you can kind of breathe. Same thing here. I just had it up to here, and I didn't add the border there. This lotion that I sprayed, it didn't look quite right with the like black lines. I don't know if it's hard to see, but I ended up graying the black lines, hoping that would make it look good. It still didn't look totally good, but whatever. And there's my generic backgrounds for the paintings. I just do the squares and keep putting squares in there, and I think yeah, that's just the coloring that I did in Photoshop. I didn't even do that in real life. Not much to say in that one. This one I normally did on the 8.5 by 11 paper, but I didn't know about the like 16 by 24 centimeters, and so I had to actually take part of it and smush it together and change it around just so it would fit in the page better. And you would notice if you like look at the lines, they're kind of more straight than my sloppy lines that I normally do. And you'll notice, like, I did all this stuff out of order, and then I just pasted it I pieced it together which way I wanted it. So like this page in the back of the book, like the last page of my book, like that's the first page I ever even did, because you can tell because my head's like super long and stuff. Anyway, let's go back over here. 8 minutes, I swear, I need to speed things up here. Sitting here jabbering. Once again, I added these lines, and like I wanted it to be a computer monitor, and so I added these lines in Paint Shop Pro to kind of make it more look like a screen, because it's kind of like, what I did was I added a layer and I just put 2 white lines, and I dropped down the opacity a little bit so you could see through. And you can notice continuity errors because her shirt and pants are black when like over here they're white, you know, tan or whatever. But not much to really say other than I didn't put the panel there because I added more space there. Oh, and you can definitely find some mistakes here. Like you can tell the monitor right here, there's like a line there, and like it's like barely a line, and then here this like huge line. Looks like I'm looking at a television. Over here and here, it looked like I was consistent, and here I was like, whatever. Once again, establishing shot up here. I actually took a digital camera and went outside my apartment complex and snapped it, and then I kind of put it in there. And then